I spent an entire day going through all 300 submissions of LEGO's Bricklink program for adults from some of the greatest designers in the world. Everything from buildings that are sorta modular to massive medieval creations to the smaller sets that are a bit easier on our bank accounts. I narrowed it down to 25 designs that I think have a chance to make it to the top 5 finalists. Let's see which one of these have the best chances. This first one takes us on a mining adventure and is unlike anything we've seen before. The colors pop, especially the red siding, which pairs perfectly with the stone and wood structures. The attention to detail is impressive, like the signage and the carefully placed greenery. Every angle looks polished and it feels complete. The real highlight here though is the interactivity. There are 4 floors of exploration, each one filled with purposely crafted rooms that make you want to keep discovering more. Plus, the minifigures here are full of character and add to the experience. It's the kind of set that makes you feel like you're getting a ton of value, and if I had to guess, its uniqueness and charm could very well land it among the finalists. Next up, we're bringing the outdoors to life with a LEGO build that scales the world's tallest trees. When you first look at it, the sheer height of these sequoias is mind-blowing. But it's not just about the scale of this thing, we also get intricate details scattered all around, from the storytelling elements geared toward nature lovers to the small but detailed visitor center. And that archway entrance adds an extra touch that makes the build feel even more immersive. This has a strong chance, especially since it's tapping into a theme we don't often see. Nature builds tend to resonate, and this has all the right things to get the votes. As a one-person operation on this small channel, I truly appreciate everyone watching. And if you're enjoying this content, hit the like and subscribe buttons. It'll help the channel by sharing it across YouTube's algorithm. You know, there's something oddly relaxing about builds with a fishing theme, and this next one doesn't disappoint. They've updated the wave design beneath the house, making it feel even more realistic, and I'm a big fan of the stilted structure and can imagine how fun it'd be to assemble and see how the pieces support the weight. On the inside, the detailing continues to shine. There's a key by the door and even a little Easter egg reference to the LEGO Ideas motorized lighthouse. And fishing builds have captured people's attention in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised if this brings in a lot of votes. I've never come across a medieval set quite like this. The standout feature is without a doubt the giant wolf head at the entrance. It's so smoothly designed that it doesn't even feel like a LEGO build when you first look at it. The sharp teeth and the grand staircase leading up to the entry definitely give it an intimidating presence. Inside, there's a lot to explore with storytelling elements and interactive features that keep you engaged. The transformation of the tree into a protective structure adds to the wow factor, and while this is incredibly unique and visually awesome, I wonder if it might be too different for a medieval setting. Still, it's sure to grab plenty of attention with its bold design. Moving to something more traditional, we've got a massive medieval fortress that stands out for its scale and detail. At almost 4,000 pieces, this is a build you could spend days on. It can be folded or unfolded, giving you options for how you want to display it. The interior is loaded with details, and the sheer number of minifigures included makes everything complete. While it's definitely different enough from other castles to be worth adding to a collection, I do wonder if some fans still have medieval fatigue. Okay, now this might be the coolest dragon I've seen in a LEGO set. The building techniques used here are next level, giving the dragon a lifelike texture and dimension. The black and red color palette totally works, especially with those bright yellow eyes that seem to pierce through the build. You can pose it in all sorts of ways, making it perfect for display. And the included mini tower, where a wizard is trying to fend off the dragon, adds a great storytelling aspect. The breakaway wall is a nice touch as well, offering some interactivity to the set. If there's demand for a dragon like this in medieval collections, I could definitely see this making its way to the top. This next one takes us back to a familiar place, but with some significant upgrades. What used to be a modular build has evolved into something much more dynamic. Since LEGO stopped allowing modulars in Bricklink submissions, the designers got creative, and you can really see that here. The standout, innovative feature has got to be this tram that runs alongside the building, something you don't see every day. And the tracks can even be removed for more display options. The exterior also receives some care and attention with updated sidewalks, traffic lights, and street signs. And inside, the detailing is next level. The interiors are so polished, and the fact that you can display this set in multiple configurations just adds to its appeal. This designer embraced the limitations and came up with something that feels premium. This is a strong contender for sure. Also rising from its modular roots, this building brings engineering and artistry together. Like the sushi restaurant, this has an elevated sidewalk base with those curved sidewalks that immediately catch your eye. What's really cool here is how the designer incorporated details you'd see underneath a city sidewalk, making it feel grounded in reality. And of course, the street signs and traffic lights are a welcome addition, giving it that busy city feel. The interior hasn't really changed since its earlier iteration, but that's actually quite welcome since it was so good in the first place. This is another premium feeling model that could definitely have what it takes to make it to the final round. Making a return from previous entries, this Academy set has hit its peak level design. Right away, I noticed the vibrant red and blue banners lining the outside, adding a sense of school flair to the building. We even get some new fixtures in the recreation areas now on both sides. You can also get a feel for how each floor stacks up, and it looks so clean and well thought out. It's a solid design with a lot going on for it. Next, we've got a set that's gone through a ton of changes. This city arcade started with humble beginnings but has now transformed into something that catches your eye instantly. The color scheme is perfect, vibrant enough to grab your attention without feeling too busy. I think the rooftop design is where it shines, adding so much dimension with a rocket flying around the moon in front of these awesomely designed fixtures. Inside, it's got everything you'd expect from an arcade, though it could have benefited from some extra stickers to enhance the visuals. There's been a lot of hype around this build, so I wouldn't be surprised if it gets the votes it needs to move forward. For all the train enthusiasts out there, this next build has such an awesome feature that sets it apart. Not only does it come with a nicely designed train, but it also includes a tunnel which adds depth to the diorama. The terrain surrounding the train tracks is varied and well thought out, giving the entire scene more character. Even the grass and dirt underneath the tracks adds to the immersion. The train itself is sleek, and the chosen color complements the landscape perfectly. While the interior could use a bit more attention, the overall design of everything put together is visually stunning. Given how popular trains are in the LEGO community, the unique tunnel feature could help it catch enough attention from the train fanatics. Here's something colorful and straight out of a fantasy world. The scale is insane. I mean, this thing is huge. What's neat is that it can fold in from 2 different points, giving you the option to display it in multiple ways. Every room is packed with detail, telling a story as you explore each level. The only thing that gives me a bit of pause is the number of exposed studs. But it's clear the designer wanted to maximize the scale and packed as much into the set as possible. If large fantasy builds are in demand this round, this could definitely have a shot. Stepping back into the Wild West, we've got a detective agency that feels like it's ripped from an old Western movie. This building is more on the high-end side with fancy branding at the top, and I think it looks good from just about every angle, which is typical of this designer, and it's no wonder they've been a finalist before. The overall craftsmanship is top-notch, packed with the kind of detail that modular building fans would appreciate. That said, this one could be a bit more on the niche side, which may limit its appeal. Still, for those who love the era, it's an exciting entry. You can't have a Wild West town without a bank, and this design delivers. Like the detective agency, it has a highly detailed exterior and a well thought out interior. The way the sides swing out is pretty awesome, letting you expand the display area or access the inside. The heist scene adds some much needed action, making it just that much more interactive. Though it might be more of a companion piece, I could see it pairing well with other builds in the same theme. Jumping into medieval territory again, we've got a Wolfpack theme build that feels like it's hiding secrets at every turn. The dark tower perched on stone terrain immediately grabs your attention, and the color combination looks excellent. Each room is packed with detail, adding layers of storytelling and immersion, and the hidden features also add a level of excitement that makes these builds so much fun. The minifigures and accessories are top-notch, perfect for rounding out any medieval collection. This one could be a huge hit. Of course, no collection is complete without a pirate ship. What immediately caught my eye is the unique shape. It's got this curved middle section that gives the whole ship a dynamic look. The dark sails and brooding colors add a menacing vibe, which would bring a much-needed presence in a pirate setup. You can detach different parts of the ship to access the interior, which is filled with details that bring it to life. While we haven't seen a pirate ship make its way through recent rounds, this might just be the one to finally make it to the finals. Next up, we've got a castle build that looks straight out of a Castlevania video game. And this thing is massive. The architecture choices here are awesome, and this could be a big contender, especially hot off the heels of that Transylvania set that won. It's just as impressive inside with room after room of well-crafted details. I wouldn't be surprised if this set gets a lot of attention. Speaking of eerie, check out this haunted house that's perfect for the spooky season. The color scheme immediately sets the tone with dark purples, blacks, and blues mixed with bright orange pumpkins that add a pop of color. It's not just about the looks either. The boarded up exterior and creepy tree really help sell the haunted vibe. The open back design is a good way to keep the cost down and works well for accessing all of the interactive elements. Nearly every room has something hidden to discover, making it a blast to explore. With Halloween builds being so popular, this has a solid chance of making it through, especially with its fun seasonal appeal. Shifting gears, this brings a completely different kind of charm, a vintage food truck festival. It's got a well-balanced variety with 2 food trucks, one serving noodles and the other offering sweets. The picnic area surrounded by decorations in the trees adds to the atmosphere, making it feel like a little outdoor event. Each truck is fully equipped with tools and kitchen details, and the sides swing open for easy access when it's time to serve. It's a fun original display that would pair nicely with other outdoor builds like a park or a cityscape, and this set's vibe could give it the edge it needs to make it to the finalists. Okay, don't let the small size of this next one fool you. It's packed with personality. It feels like it's straight out of a snowy landscape with frosted windows and snow hanging from the roof in a way that looks pretty realistic. The ice fishing hole and the snowmobile parked outside definitely added the scene. We get a cozy little spot inside for the minifigures to warm up, making excellent use of the small space. It's the kind of set that tells a complete story without needing to be massive, and I think that simplicity is going to resonate with a lot of people. For all the outdoor adventurers out there, this will probably remind you of your favorite camping trip. The first thing you'll notice is the pop-out blue tent, which has details inside, which is a fun touch, making it feel pretty realistic. The terrain is beautifully crafted, from the varied tree designs to the fish jumping upstream on the rocky riverbank. These camping type sets tend to do well, and with its solid design and affordable price range, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one make it. This display takes us back in time to an ancient floating market, and it looks fantastic. The water, represented by a nice choice of green, adds to the overall aesthetic, and each boat has its own distinctive character. And the small spaces inside the market stalls are well organized and detailed, making great use of the available space. The fact that you can position the buildings across from each other to create a canal-like display is a brilliant touch. This one has a lot of visual appeal that could catch a lot of votes. We have another fishing themed build that might draw a lot of people in. This has that winning combination of a relaxed waterfront vibe and lots of details throughout. And the color choices here are excellent, from the waves crashing against the shore to the terrain that's laid out perfectly. Every part of this build feels carefully designed, and it's got that high quality feel. Maybe it's the peaceful vibe, but there's something about these types of builds that people just seem to love. Returning with a more balanced design, this amazing medieval build is back. The layout has been improved from its previous iteration, with more focus on the stained glass windows over here on the side, along with the lava that flows underneath the structure. And the inside has been upgraded as well, with one room that was previously empty is now filled with details, making it feel more complete. I wouldn't be surprised to see it advance this time around. Unlike the tall towers and grand castles that we've seen before, this huge bridge stretches out horizontally, providing a sprawling layout that would make a cool centerpiece in any medieval collection. The design itself can be deconstructed, revealing just how expansive the model is, and while it's another great addition to the Wolfpack collection, there's always the concern of whether too many similar designs from the same designer will split out the votes. Even so, this is definitely a strong contender for fans of the theme, and it'll be interesting to see which one of these makes it to the top 5. I feel like there's strong competition in this round, and these designs are getting better and better.